and sit down to one of the best meals you're going to have. It's as simple as that. Make a reservation, 702-792-9222. Ralph Michaels puts together our angles of the day, and he's always got some juicy stuff. What do we have today?
Oh, this is a fun one because it's about lines being between the threes.
Okay. So projected close games.
Exactly, between +3 and -3. The Pacers are 12-0 to the under at home when the line is between +3 and -3. And they allowed under 100 points their last two games. The Celtics, 13-0-1 to the under on the road with the line between the threes, off a home win where they allowed fewer than 100 points in their last two games.
Well, this is a rather spectacular qualifier tonight then in terms of these trends.
That would be 25-0 with a push between them. Take the under, Pacers, Celtics. And if you watch the first two games, it's not going to take a lot of convincing for you to take the under in game three.
Because the Pacers, and we'll talk about that game. Actually, we'll kind of get into that very quickly. It's one of the games we've got set up. In fact, we'll lead with that one instead of the other one. Let's go to the Friday. MJ Christensen, 4-4.
1, 2, 3 into the 4.
Put them fours up. Put the fours up, I said. Do it right now.
Tonight's action is just around the bend, and the guys want to get your night off to a great start.
4.
It's the Las Vegas Sportsline's 4 at 4.
Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4. Unbelievable.
And we had Cliff Miller in studio on Wednesday because yesterday was the official 80th anniversary at MJ Christensen. But the anniversary savings are taking place throughout the entire month of April, so you can still get in, go to the store in Boca Park, and you're going to find some amazing deals on top-quality jewelry. And Cliff Miller says he will not be undersold on any diamond. It's as simple as that. So if you're in the market to do something wonderful for somebody or for yourself, you need to go to MJ Christensen in Boca Park. So let's start out with the Celtics and Pacers, and we get this angle that points to the under, and so does the game flow. Because for the Pacers to have a real chance to win, it kind of has to be a low possession game, doesn't it?
It has to be a grinder. And I mean, Boston's better than Indiana. It's pretty clear after two games that despite some of the Celtics' struggles, and of course, one of the worst beats of the year.
Oh my God, that was just I wasn't involved in it. If you have the Pacers plus 7.5, wow.
It's impossible. It's impossible to lose that bet, and you lost it. So, I mean, when you're having a night like that, you have a beer and come back the next day.
You might want to go for something stronger than a beer.
Exactly. Because it's, but then again, sometimes you're on the right side of Virginia, Purdue.
Oh, sure.
So you have to, you remember that when you lose one like the Pacers did the other night. And it's not like Indiana was the wrong side in that game or Boston exerted their dominance, but it feels like in an NBA series where stars matter, the Celtics have the stars that can play, and Indiana maybe not so much.
Now, another thing that comes into play here is this is one of those, and the trend has become wildly popular, which is bad news for the trend.
You can't bet anymore.
0-2 home team, first half. Look, it might get there, but if you bet that bet, you're taking by far the worst of it in the number. And it's actually even worse on the other 0-2 that comes tonight that we'll talk about in a moment. But the odds makers have adjusted for this angle, and you are paying a severe premium now.
So if you don't shop around, and many bettors don't, okay, well, if you shop around, you can still, at this moment, find Indiana minus 2.5 for the game. If you don't shop around and happen to just bet the Pacers at whatever book, you're laying 3 minus 120 for the first half.
Yeah. We'll get to the other one in a minute, but let's first talk about the Raptors and Magic.
But all that being said, if I was going to bet Indiana, I would bet them first half, not full game.
Yeah, because logically it still makes more sense for them.
And Boston's the better team.
Yes.
I don't trust the Pacers to make shots during crunch time.
And so let's go to the other one now that fits that. We'll save the Raptors and Magic. We'll eventually get to that. Blazers and Thunder. It's at 0-2. Thunder at home. But, I mean, see, this is where the math, the value player in me looks at this and says, well, I can't possibly play the first half here with the Thunder, even though that's the side you're supposed to play in the system, so to speak. But, I mean, you're getting killed on the value.
So the full game line, there's a mix of 7.5s and 8s out there right now.
Now, it was 7, and it's going to 7.5, and now 8.
The first half line is ranging between 6s, even a prominent 6.5 in town. Okay, so once again, that's not where you normally see the games lined at, which means that, if they cover, they cover.
But see, eventually, and it could.
But the
I think
markets
have
caught
It
up.
already started last year because
Of course,
I think
it
it
went
was
5-5 last
right,
year.
It wasn't great last year, and I think actually could, if you consistently award so much negative value to a particular side, the other side starts to become the good bet.
Well, the example I always use is Monday Night Football home dogs. All right, and we went back and did a study. In the 70s and 80s and 90s, all three of them, Monday Night Football home dogs were a legitimate trend. In the 90s, people started talking about it because betting information started getting out there. And if you bet on the Monday Night home dogs, they got all pumped up, and the public's betting the favorite, whatever. It was very profitable. And everyone started talking about it. And if you looked at 20-year sample sizes, you got these great returns. And if you looked at what happened between 2000 and 2010, it was a 50-50 proposition. If you looked at what happened this decade, it's below 50%.
Yes, it's lost.
Yeah, so once people know, once everybody knows about it and everybody's talking about it, the markets have adjusted, you might still cash some tickets with it, but your days riding that trend to forever are over.
Once a trend becomes public, it's not a trend anymore.
Yeah, and it was, again, 5-5 last year, and I'm not anticipating consistently stellar results this year either.
As far as that game goes, Oklahoma City's looked like garbage in the first two games. So
they 10 of 61 from three-point range. Every team in the NBA is going to look.
But their shot selection, it's not just that the shots aren't going in. The shot selection is awful.
10 of 61 from three-point range.
Yeah, they're forcing stuff.
And the markets are saying, and Paul George is hurt.
I know. That's huge.
I read a quote from one of the beat writers saying, I saw more tape on Paul George's shoulder than I've ever seen on a human being. That's not a team I want to lay 8 points with, is it?
No, not me. RaptorsMagic. We finally get to this. Well, look, Orlando played a great first game, and Toronto still can't figure out what to do in game one of a series. I think it's just a mental thing. And Toronto came back to look good in game two. Are they just simply better than Orlando, and we'll get them here on this court where now you don't have to be quite as concerned with the number either?
They are better than Orlando. But something Kelly was talking about earlier. We talked about the Magic coming out of the All-Star break as being a potential bet-on team. And since the All-Star break, Orlando, top three defensive numbers, 21-9 ATS. Really good. And
that's good.
And we're still seeing Toronto not just getting bet to where now they do have to win by margin. The 4.5s are gone. Okay. The 5s are gone. It's 5.5 right now. The Raptors the better team. I'm confident.
No, that's a stiff number on the road.
But the one matchup that Orlando has to be able to figure out is Vujovic. He's been dominated by Gasol and Ibaka the first two games, and they need him to get going if they're going to remain competitive in this series.
Maple Leafs and Bruins on the ice tonight. It's been a really exciting series between these two teams, which I think most people thought it would be going in. This is a series that looks like it could go 7 games. The Bruins are back home for Game 5 after winning Game 4 at Toronto, and the thing that came out of that game was that the Bergeron line, which is a dominant line, it's one of the best lines in the league, finally got on track. They were having trouble with some of the team speed on Toronto, but, the series has been going on for a while, and sometimes the legs start to... Maybe the team speed advantage isn't as big as size advantage, because when teams are meeting each other consistently, I think the bigger team has a tendency to eventually be able to exert its physical will. So I know there's a lot of sharp money on Toronto tonight, and I did not play the game, but I think the Bruins might be able to get him tonight because the Bruins seem to have figured something out, which is, number one, you've got to control Mitch Marner, whose speed has been electrifying in this series. And go ahead, Zaitsev, he's just a stiff, okay? He blocks a lot of shots, but he's really a crappy defenseman as far as I'm concerned. I know that I've been negative on this guy for a long time, but I think it showed in Game 4. I think the Bruins are going to get the win tonight, but it's not something I would bet at the price. If it was minus 120, okay, I would take my chances, not where it is.
And we've seen a ton of money, not a ton, but a fair bit of money on the under for this ballgame. And it looks like a lot of sharp money.
Look, the Maple Leafs they got to slow down that first line, because if they let them get on track like they did on Wednesday, they're not winning. Mm-hmm. So Boston's first line is something special.
So Toronto's game plan has to be let's slow it down then, right?
Yeah.
Hence the under money.
Which is weird because Toronto's a speed team. But
but it explains the correlation between some of the Leafs money and some of the under money that we've seen.
Let's see. What do we do here? We want to talk about some Major League Baseball. I'll tell you what, let's get out early again so we have this kind of formatted a little properly. We'll get to some of tonight's baseball next.
the Las Vegas Sports Line.
The Great American Foodie Fest returns to Sunset Station Casino April 25th through 28th with free admission this year. Showcasing the nation's best food trucks seen on Food Network and Cooking Channel, along with carnival rides and live entertainment. The Great American Foodie Fest is back with free admission.
Time to start planning for the 2019 swim season. Call B&D Pool Plastering and remodel your tired-looking pool. With B&D's 2019 swim season pricing, beat the rush. For a free estimate, call B&D Pool Plastering, 702-644-8980.
At MJ Christensen, you're not dealing with a chain. You're dealing with a locally owned establishment that's been here for years and years. And one of the things you guys pride yourself on, Cliff Miller, that's community involvement.
We are deeply involved. Our company is Vegas born, and we're Vegas strong. And what makes Vegas so strong is all the charitable issues that need to be addressed. And anywhere we can, we try to join hand in hand and lift this community up.
MJ Christensen, something special for the love of your life. Located at Boca Park.
Spring has sprung in a big way, and if you suffer from allergies, you know you need the professionals at Zero Res to come and clean your carpets and remove all those nasty allergens that have contaminated your home. Vegas, it's Clay Baker here, and Zero Res understands all this. That's why they'll come to your home, pre-treat, clean, and sanitize 3 rooms of carpet for $99. Just $99. And they'll clean 100 square feet of tile for free. Call today. 702-840-3333 and ask for the Clay Baker ESPN special. And if you're like me, you do everything to stave off pollen and pet hair and dander. All of it gets caught up in your carpet. When you come home, we know what you really want. It's the clean air quality that only Zero Res can provide. Call them today, 702-840-3333. Locally owned and operated by the great McKee brothers. Go online, check it out, ZeroResLasVegas.com. Minimums apply.
Clean carpet, Zero Res it. ZeroRez. Call 840-3333.
Dave Cokin with John Lyons from Lyons Physical Therapy. So what are the most common injuries you see in your practice?
The primary injuries that we see are general neck and back pain. That's 100% the most frequent injuries we'll see. That can be anything from wear and tear, age-related injuries. Mm-hmm. We see a lot of work-related injuries where patients lift, bend, or twist the wrong way. These are also associated with car accidents. I would say secondarily, shoulder and knee injuries, anything sports-related or just everyday activities. Those would be the 4 main injuries that we see.
LionsPTLV.com, 702-476-0222.
License number NSCB 79415, 0079414.
Gettle is 80 years old this year. 80! You can learn a lot in 80 years.
Like what exactly?
Like how to do things the right way, not the easy way.
But you and me both knew that before we were 12 years old. Your daddy taught you, and my papaw taught me.
Zach, I'm trying to do an 80th anniversary ad here.
Okay, so why don't you do one of those fancy 129 rejuvenations for just $80? That's what folks want. That's what you ought to do.
Okay, Zach, so what are you going to do to help celebrate Gettle's 80th birthday?
Well, for starters, I'm going to make sure you don't screw up this radio ad. Then I'm going to buy a giant cake for all the Sadie superstars. And then I'm going to send a superstar out to do an inside plumbing inspection for all the people that bought your $80 rejuvenation.
Zach, that's more than $300 worth of services for just $80.
Hey, are we celebrating or not?
Gettle.
Goettl. Ken, are you sure you're spelling that right?
Your home is important. That's why Geico helps make it easy to save on homeowners insurance. Because home is more than just a place. Home is where you have a cute little reading nook for those rainy days when you want to curl up with a good book, but you don't even read, so you just sit in there during thunderstorms and scroll through memes on your phone and laugh in the darkness. The Geico Insurance Agency could help protect the dark, meme-filled corner you call home. Call Geico and see how easy it is to switch and save on homeowners insurance.
The Home Depot's making it easy to turn your favorite moment into the perfect color for any room with the Project Color app. Upload any image, then discover the colors and paint to match. Now you're a swipe and a click closer to everything you need for your next project. Explore the most popular colors and trending palettes to find your perfect paint. Get a colorful new experience with the Project Color app, then shop our best brands with gallons starting from just $25.97 at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. U.S. only. See store for details.
On Twitter, follow us at the LV Sportsline and at ESPN 1100.
Cubs are looking to close out the Diamondbacks.